Hey guys, it's me, Little Sunshine, coming with you for another month of tarot readings. Um, we got pretty good reviews that we like them individually, so we are here with just you, Sagittarius. None of your other elemental signs mucking this Sagittarius time up. I think it is just easier to, just have your short version of the video. So we're doing it again, and funnily enough, we were going to do the Under the Sea Tarot. However, this guy magically manifested his way into my life and wanted to be used again. I used this probably, I want to say 3 months ago, because I've been in love with the tarot cards, and I intended to use the Under the Sea Tarot again, and we got the Whimsical Tarot. I thought I set down the Under the Sea and I went to go pull them out, and I'm like, what are these? So we're using these. They are meant for us, and this is where we're at. I pulled them already to save on time too, so we're gonna jump right in, guys. So Sagittarius is, you did get the Four of Swords. Who do we see here? We see a princess and her peas, a little mouse. This card's interesting. So swords, always kind of, how do we feel about a sword? Can wield power, can stab people in the back, can do a lot of things just when you read through the sword, throughout the entire sword deck series. When you suit, that's the word I'm looking for. So the four here, guys, is kind of like this, we see a dreaming girl. It can, lead to where are our thoughts going. So I always think of kind of the dream world. So much work we can do in our dreams, and we are doing in our dreams, but also the thinking world. So this mind world that we can live in. Is it getting out of control lately? Are we living too much in our minds where you're creating situations that where you think things are going to happen, and they don't necessarily happen that way because it's all in your head, and we can all live there from time to time. So it's just kind of a month to step back and to view those thoughts. So it's we have 50,000 thoughts a day, give or take 1,000 or 100,000, and so like, what are you choosing to think about? Do you want to think about the negative outcome that could happen if you went to a party, or you have some upcoming test, or, and then you start playing out every scenario possible. Me and my boyfriend just talked about that show, Doug, if you ever watched Doug when you were a little kid. And I was like, we both love Doug, like, don't get me wrong, we love it. But the cartoon was totally about this kid that thinks about every thought that could have always happened, and I'm like, I think I got a lot of anxiety from this cartoon. Actually, sorry, I'm jumping you around. I'm up on the Reiki table. But it's totally about living in that thought world of like what could happen. But I guess the moral of the story too would be that those thoughts that he was thinking, those, oh, I'm going to go to the party. And it was always just this very extravagant, like, what would happen kind of scenarios, like, just blown out of proportion, which we do in our own heads. But I guess, okay, so the conclusion of the show would always be that it wasn't as bad as, he kind of worked it out to be in his head. So don't live in those anxious kind of thoughts. Don't live in the what ifs and the doodly-doodly-doos. Just live in those what feels right. So what feels good, what feels right, going with the flow kind of mentality this month. And when those thoughts do arise, because they will, you can't stop a speeding train of thoughts. You can't Spider-Man yourself in front of all these thoughts, But we can choose to go, ah, I had that thought, and I'm viewing it, and I'm floating it away on a cloud. Because I did write in here too, don't be a gangsta of life. I was listening to one of my spirit guidings too as I was pulling these cards, and that kind of just stuck, to be a gangster of life, to have this thick skin, where you're kind of just more in a defensive position with life, because once you have those thoughts, you're gonna walk around expecting people to, like, they're starting a fight with you, and that you gotta be reactive, and that you always gotta be like ready to just like defend, you know. And we don't. You can choose the softer path this month. If you're watching this, I'm sure you're not too, gangstery, like, on your life already, but it is, one of those things. I can find myself being reactive in a situation in a day, and it can take 10 minutes even, or longer, that you just need that time to reflect and to go, okay, I was being kind of reactive here. I'm viewing this thought, laugh with it a little that you had it, and just you send it on your way. So good luck, my Sagittarius friends, in viewing these thoughts. Lots of meditation and love for you for the month. So just meditate, view those thoughts, and stick with the good ones, okay? That is not your card. Where'd your Four of Swords go? There's your Princess and the Thief. So one more gander at it before I leave you. But many blessings to you. And, if you just want to look at this card and stack yourself on a pile of pillows, go do it. Oh, I love you. Have a beautiful month, and I'll see you next time.